everybody. My name is Taylor, and I'm outside enjoying some sun. And I hear my friend Eric asked me to come and read a book today. I hope that maybe you can be outside safely enjoying some sun. I'm really enjoying this weather today. So I wanted to share with you one of my very favorite books about my very, very favorite fruit bat named Stella Luna, by Janelle Cannon. Stella Luna. This is Stella Luna. In a warm and sultry forest far, far, far away, there once lived a mother fruit bat and her new baby. Oh, how Mother Bat loved her soft, tiny baby. "I'll name you Stella Luna," she crooned. Each night, Mother Bat would carry Stella Luna clutched to her breast as she flew out to search for food. I love these pictures. Can you see? I think that's Mama and that's Stella Luna, right? She's all curled in. One night, as Mother Bat followed the heavy scent of ripe fruit, an owl spied her. On silent wings, the powerful bird swooped down upon the bats. Dodging and shrieking, Mother Bat tried to escape, but the owl struck again and again, knocking Stella Luna into the air. Her baby wings were as limp and useless as wet paper. Down, down she went, faster and faster, into the forest below. Oh goodness, oh goodness. That's the owl, and it looks like Stella Luna lost her mama. Let's see what happens. The dark leafy tangle of branches caught Stella Luna as she fell. One twig was small enough for Stella Luna's tiny feet. Wrapping her wings about her, she clutched the thin branch, trembling with cold and fear. "Mother," Stella Luna squeaked, "where are you?" By daybreak, the baby bat could hold on no longer. Down, down, down she dropped. There she is. She's trying so hard to hold on with her little tiny feet. I understand. Flump! Stella Luna landed headfirst in a soft, downy nest, startling the 3 baby birds who lived there. Stella Luna quickly clambered from the nest and hung out of sight below it. She listened to the babble of the 3 birds. "What was that?" cried Flap. "I don't know, but it's hanging by its feet," chirped Flitter. "Shh, here comes Mama," hissed Pip. Many, many times that day, Mama Bird flew away, always returning with food for her babies. Stella Luna was terribly hungry, but not for the crawly things Mama Bird brought. Finally, though, the little bat could bear it no longer. She climbed into the nest, closed her eyes, and opened her mouth. Plop! In dropped a big green grasshopper. Can you see the grasshopper? She's squeezing her eyes so tight so she doesn't really have to see the bug that she's about to eat. Stella Luna learned to be like the birds. She stayed awake all day and slept at night. She ate bugs, even though they tasted awful. Her bat ways were quickly disappearing. Except for one thing. Stella Luna still liked to sleep hanging by her feet. Can you see? Yeah, I think you can. Once, when Mama was away, the curious baby birds decided to try it too. When Mama Bird came home, she saw 8 tiny feet gripping the edge of the nest. "Eek!" she cried. "Get back up here this instant! You're going to fall and break your necks!" She didn't like that at all. the little baby birds hanging by their feet. The birds clambered back to the nest, but Mama Bird stopped Stella Luna. You are teaching my children to do bad things. I will not let you back into this nest unless you promise to obey all the rules of this house. Stella Luna promised. She ate bugs without making faces. She slept in the nest at night, and she didn't hang by her feet. Stella Luna behaved as a good bird should. I think that's the mama bird, and that's little Stella Luna, trying to learn all of the bird ways. All the babies grew up quickly. Soon the nest became crowded. Mama Bird told them it was time to learn to fly. One by one, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stella Luna jumped from the nest. Their wings worked. I'm just like them, thought Stella Luna. I can fly too. Pip, Flitter, and Flap landed gracefully on a branch. Stella Luna tried to do the same. Oh goodness, that's her trying to grab onto that branch. Uh-oh. How embarrassing. She tried to grab onto the branch. It's little Stella Luna. I will fly all day, Stella Luna told herself. Then no one will see how clumsy I am. She's so cute, little Stella Luna. The next day, Pip, Flitter, Flap, and Stella Luna went flying far from home. They flew for hours, exercising their new wings. The sun is setting, warned Flitter. We had better go home, or we will get lost in the dark, said Flap. But Stella Luna had flown far ahead and was nowhere to be seen. The three anxious birds went home without her. All alone, Stella Luna flew and flew and flew until her wings ached and she dropped into a tree. I promised not to hang by my feet, Stella Luna sighed. So she hung by her thumbs, and soon she fell asleep. She didn't hear the soft sound of wings coming near. That's her holding on. I love these pictures so much. She's holding on so hard with her little hands. All right, let's see what happens. Hey! A loud voice said. Why are you hanging upside down? Stella Luna's eyes opened wide. She saw a most peculiar face. It's a peculiar face. I'm not upside down. You are, Stella Luna said. Ah, but you're a bat. Bats hang by their feet. You are hanging by your thumbs, so that makes you upside down. The creature said, I'm a bat. I am hanging by my feet. That makes me right side up. Stella Luna was confused. Mama Bird told me I was upside down. She said I was wrong. Wrong for a bird, maybe, but not for a bat. More bats gathered around to see the strange young bat who behaved like a bird. Stella Luna told them her story. You ate bugs? Stuttered one. You slept at night? Gasped another. How very, very strange, they all murmured. Wait, let me look at this child. A bat pushed through the crowd. An owl attacked you? She said. Sniffing Stella Luna's fur, she whispered, You are Stella Luna. You are my baby. You escaped the owl, cried Stella Luna. You survived? Yes, said Mother Bat as she wrapped her wings around Stella Luna. Come with me, and I'll show you where to find the most delicious fruit. You'll never have to eat another bug as long as you live. Look at, that's Stella Luna's mama. She found her baby. But it's nighttime, Stella Luna squeaked. We can't fly in the dark or we will crash into trees. We're bats, said Mother Bat. We can see in the darkness. Come with us. I love this. The bats can see in the dark. Stella Luna was afraid, but she let go of the tree and dropped into the deep blue sky. Stella Luna could see. She felt as though rays of light shone from her eyes. She was able to see everything in her path. Soon the bats found a mango tree, and Stella Luna ate as much of the fruit as she could hold. I will never eat another bug as long as I live, cheered Stella Luna as she stuffed herself full. I must tell Pip, Flitter, and Flap. She loves that mango. The next day, Stella Luna went to visit the birds. Come with me and meet my bat family, said Stella Luna. Okay, let's go, agreed Pip. They hang by their feet and they fly at night and they eat the best food in the world, Stella Luna explained to the birds on the way. As the birds flew among the bats, Flap said, I feel upside down here. So the birds hung by their feet. Wait until dark, Stella Luna said excitedly. We will fly at night. So it's Stella Luna and all of her little bird friends. Flip, Flap. What's the third one's name? Pip. Flip, Flap, and Pip. When night came, Stella Luna flew away. Pip, Flitter, and Flap leaped from the tree to follow her. I can't see a thing, yelled Pip. Neither can I, howled Flitter. Ay! Shrieked Flap. They're going to crash, gasped Stella Luna. I must rescue them. Stella Luna swooped about, grabbing her friends in the air. She lifted them to a tree, and the birds grasped a bench. Stella Luna hung from the limb above them. Oh my goodness. So, that's Stella Luna, and those are her three friends, holding on tight to her. We're safe, said Stella Luna. Then she sighed. I wish you could see in the dark, too. We wish you could land on your feet, Flitter replied. Pip and Flap nodded. They perched in silence for a long time. How can we be so different and feel so much alike? Mused Flitter. And how can we feel so different and how can we feel so different and be so much alike? Wondered Pip. I think this is quite a mystery, Flap chirped. I agree, said Stella Luna. But we're friends, and that's a fact. So that's the story of Stella Luna and her dear bird friends, Pip, Flitter, and Flap. And one of my favorite parts about this book is that it teaches you about bats. So I'm going to read to you a little bit about bats. From Bat Notes at the end of Stella Luna. Of the nearly 5,500 species of mammals on Earth, almost 1/4, more than 1,370 species, are bats, the only mammals capable of powered flight. I think that's so wild. The scientific name for bats is I'm not going to say that correctly, so if somebody wants to let me know how to later, I'd really appreciate it. Hand wing. It's called hand wing because the skeleton that supports the wing is composed of the animal's hand and elongated finger bones, which I think is so cool, that a bat's wing is really their hand bones, but instead of having them be separated, there's this thin flesh that connects them to make their wing. Most bats use echolocation in order to navigate in flight. Oh, actually, and this is a cool picture because you can see a hand and how it looks like the bat hand. Our hand is kind of like a bat wing. Oh, we have bat wings we could pretend we have bat wings instead of hands. Most bats use echolocation in order to navigate in flight, avoid obstacles, and detect and track prey. Echolocation is a form of biological sonar, using sound to sense the world around us. There are over 1,100 species of echolocating bats, and they live in every climate around the world except the polar zones. I think that's so interesting, to navigate the world with sound instead of sight. Many eat insects while others feed on fish, amphibians, reptiles, and even other mammals. Still, other echolocating bats feed on fruit or the nectar and pollen of flowers. Some of the most famous are vampire bats, of which there are only 3 species. Vampire bats can be found from Mexico to Argentina. They prey primarily on domestic cattle and native mammals and birds, from which they obtain blood meals through tiny bites. Contrary to myth, no bats are blind. However, not all bats echolocate. Most Old World fruit bats, like Stellaluna, instead use their keen vision and sense of smell to orient themselves and find their food. There are about 200 species of Old World fruit bats. The smallest have a wingspan of 11 inches. The largest have a wingspan of nearly 6 feet. Whoa. That's as tall as a person. Old World fruit bats generally have long muzzles, large eyes, pointy ears, and furry bodies, which is why they are often called flying foxes. They live in tropical and subtropical climates that provide year-round supplies of their favorite fruits, flowers, and nectar. Some fruit bats, as they forage for nectar, pollinate many types of night-blooming trees and plants. So cool. Bats can be pollinators. So interesting. Others eat whole fruits, seeds, and distribute the seeds over the forest floor in their droppings. In these ways, bats are very important to the regeneration of tropical forests. And that's Stellaluna. That's one of my favorite books. And now we're going to go inside, and Emily is going to sing a song for us by one of my favorite people.
Hi, everybody.
Yay!
How are you? My name is Emily. I'm a musician and songwriter. I'm going to sing to you a song that I didn't write, that one of my favorite people in the world wrote, Mr. Rogers. I don't know if you've ever watched his show, but I highly recommend it. It totally holds up. And it's about how the people who love you feel about you, how your friends and family, and how I feel about you, and definitely how Mr. Rogers would feel about you. It's you I like, not the clothes you wear, not the way you do your hair, but it's you I like, the way you are right now, the way down deep inside you. It's not the things that hide you, not your toys, they're just beside you. And it's you skin, your eyes, your feelings, whether old or new. And I hope that you'll remember, even when you're feeling blue, that it's you I like. It's you yourself. It's you. It's you I like. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today with Stella Luna and Mr. Rogers and Taylor and I. We love you. Love you guys. Have a really good day.